Hey, let's talk about games.
Hello my friend and welcome back to another video about Inquisitor Martyr. Today I want to talk to you about the Protector system in particular, and granted the system hasn't been completed yet, but I have some pretty big concerns regarding this. Now, why do I have concerns? Well, I'm going to have to take you back through time and a little story right now. This won't take long, trust me. When I used to play Paragon, they had a game feature within that where the first person to hit max rank whenever a new hero was released would get a bonus, a prize, they'd be put in the Hall of Fame, etc, etc. And they deleted this system. They deleted it for a couple of reasons. The primary reason was that it encouraged total quantity of playtime in a very unhealthy way. It basically said the person who does a 24-hour gaming session for this character doing something highly repetitive and monotonous would get a prize, and they incentivized something that was inherently very unhealthy for a human being to do. They saw the 24-hour streams that were happening and decided actually this isn't something we want to be encouraging as a game developer or producer. Now, Martyr is not having this problem at the moment. It does not have this system. However, it does have a system which provides rewards basically based on total playtime. The total amount of glory you have is added up, tallied up, and it puts you on a leaderboard. Now granted, you do get more glory if you do difficult missions. However, if you are someone with family commitments, with a girlfriend, with a car you like fixing up in your spare time, if you're a gamer that doesn't want to just play one game in their spare time, you will literally never be able to compete with others that put a lot of hours into this game. And this is something I have real beef with. I have real beef because in my opinion leaderboards should be skill based, they should be time based, they should be achievement based, they should be something which any player can aspire to win, basically. And something that I have against the feature which is currently implemented, as it seems, and granted it's not complete yet, but it does appear that this certainly favours those which have more disposable time. And this is not being salty against people that have more time to invest. I really couldn't care less if you play this game full-time 40 hours a week. But for some of us looking at this feature, this reward system, knowing that there are people that play that automatically disqualifies us from being ever capable of achieving this thing. Now, I would say a classic example of something done right within sort of modern gaming is MOBAs. Take, for example, a traditional MOBA, they will have an esport going for it. Why do they have an esport? Because every other player then aspires to be like those players. They see them getting financial compensation, they get a good bit of moolah, a good bit of money. They want to be like them, they want to get the awesome prizes, they want to be up on a stage. Now, it might not be feasible for many of them to get there, but they can damn well try. And they know that technically any player could become the next sort of, you know, superstar, I'll say, because not everyone's going to follow MOBA names, popular MOBA players, but it's a system that just shows that competitive reward is really successful in motivating a player base to play. And what is the opposite of that? Time invested rewards, which is basically demotivating for anyone because you simply know that it is physically impossible for you to do it. And that is what my major beef is with this system. Now granted, Martyr also seems to have time-based leaderboards and other based leaderboards for other factions, systems and things coming in the future. But this Protector system leaderboard thing now, I think we need to have a little grown-up talk about to say, is this something that the players actually want? I have spoken to a couple of the players that actually do top these leaderboards. And granted, the prizes aren't technically included yet, free pets while you're a protector of a system of such. And for those that aren't familiar with what it is, each planet sort of subsector is divided into chunks. And each person can basically compete on a leaderboard to become the best of that area. The best simply meaning that you've basically played it the most. And even again, I'll come back to, even though they might be able to justify it by saying, well, if you do incredibly hard difficulty, you'll get a lot more bang for your buck per minute. You're never going to compete with someone that's fairly good at the game and plays it full time. It's just not possible. And even the people that are topping these leaderboards don't really like the system that much because they are aware it's just incredibly biased. And it's not so much that it's not fun. It's that simply some portion of the player base, which I would argue is the vast majority of the player base, will never ever be top of any of those sectors simply because they have other commitments in life. Now, there's a couple of things I want to know. Firstly, what's the remedy for this? What is the actual full system looking like? Because I'm judging something that's half-baked here. And I also want to know, is Neocore aware of this? Is this something they've really thought of with this reward system? Again, it's difficult because I don't want to just take something away from people that might be happy with something. However, I can't help but feel the majority and the vast majority of the player base is looking at this feature thinking, what the hell is this here for? It's not here for me because I've got a wife and kids. It's not here for me. I've got a job. It's not here for me. I've got to not play one game all day, every day. And as such, it's not like the argument for PvP. If you don't like PvP, fair enough. You could probably argue I'd rather they didn't put PvP in the game, spent more time on other things, fair enough. However, this is something that you won't even have a chance of competing in. At least people that don't like PvP could one day be talked into it by a friend that says, oh, you know what, I'm going to play some PvP, do you fancy joining me? And they might say, well, I hate it, but I like you, so I'll try a bit of PvP, and then they've tried it, they've done a feature, they might not like it still, that's fine, but they could have tried it at any given moment. A feature that simply rules out the majority of the player base, I'm not too sure on. Guys, I want to know your thoughts on this. I want to see you down in the comments below, being nice and vocal. I want to gather some feedback. This will be posted on the Steam forums too. We're going to have a good old natter about this and see what the players think and see what the developers are doing as well. Because this may already be something that they have tackled. It may already be something that they have looked to address. Equally, it may not. Guys, have yourself a great weekend. Lots to talk about this week with Martyr, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.